Hi guys, what's up? It's Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. So today I'm going to show you how to make these delicious, nutritious plantain pancakes. They're so light, airy and fluffy. They're very easy to make and super delicious. I cannot wait to share this recipe with you, and most importantly, I want you to make these pancakes as well. So these are the ingredients that you will need. You're going to need an extra ripe yellow plantain. As you can see, the skin is pretty much black, and that is going to be a nice sweet plantain, and it's also going to give it a natural sweetness. And I highly recommend using an extra dark plantain because you won't have to worry about adding sweetener. So if you can, use a really dark plantain as I have shown in the video. You also need some almond flour, and you also need some cassava flour because this is a gluten-free recipe. It's also flourless as well. I'm so glad that I didn't have to use my gluten-free flour blend, because I really wanted to use almond flour and cassava flour. So you will need both of those for the recipe. You'll need plantain, as I said already. You'll need plantain that is mashed, so just mash it before you actually start to make the recipe. You don't really want to do it during because it's going to take a lot longer for it to break down, so it's easier just to mash it in advance. You also need some eggs, you'll need some vanilla, some xanthan gum. You need the xanthan gum. That's going to help to bind the pancakes because they're gluten-free. You also need some baking powder, some nutmeg, cinnamon, some olive oil, and you also need some almond milk as well. The first thing we need to do is make our pancake batter, and as you can see here, I have my blender. I'm using my Ninja blender, and my Ninja blender is quite sturdy and robust, so I do recommend using something like a Vitamix, a blender, just something that's really powerful, because the batter is going to be quite thick. And what I like to do and recommend that you do is add all of your wet ingredients first and then follow up with your dry ingredients. The reason why I recommend adding the wet ingredients is because they will directly touch the blade of your blender, and that's going to help in terms of creating the batter. So you have the wet ingredients first, and then you have the dry ingredients. So you want to do it in that order to make a really smooth batter. So we add all the ingredients, and then we're just going to blitz it into a nice smooth batter. So now we're just going to put the lid on the blender, and then we're just going to blitz it into a smooth consistency. Now you may need to stop and scrape down the sides of the blender depending on how robust your blender is. So this is what the batter looks like now that we have just blitzed it in our blender, and I'm just going to grab a spoon and just show you guys that it's nice and smooth, and the texture is also thick. It's not too thin. It needs to be on the thicker side to get the pancakes nice, thick and fluffy. So now we're going to make our pancakes. I transferred my batter into another jug, but you can use the blender one if you want to. So I just added some olive oil, and I just coated a crepe pan. You can use a frying pan, or if you have another non-stick skillet, you can use that. It's very important that whatever you use is non-stick. and it is on medium heat. So I'm just going to pour the batter onto the pan, and I'm using a spoon just to guide that process as well. And when you do that, you just want to add enough to make a small size pancake, and you also want to use the back of the spoon as well to spread the batter. You really want to be quick doing that as well, because the batter does set quite quickly, and you want to just cook that until the underside is golden brown. So once the first side of the pancake is cooked, I'm just going to grab a egg spatula and just flip it over. You want to be really quick when you flip it over as well, because that will lessen the chances of the pancake batter spreading and also the pancake actually falling apart. So you really want to be quick with the flip. Just a quick flip, and then cook the other side, and then we're going to just repeat that process and allow the underside of this pancake to also cook till it's golden brown. So our pancake is cooked, and I'm going to show you another one on camera of how I make the pancake, so you can guys get the idea of how to make them, so you're more familiar with the process. Okay guys, I'm going to show you the process again. So you want to just coat your pan with a small amount of oil. Make sure it's heated through. It's very important that it's heated through before you add the batter. And once you add the batter, you need to be quick. I cannot emphasize enough how you need to be quick, because the batter is thick, and because of the heat from the pan, it's going to set it quite quickly. So you really need to get that spoon and just take the back of the spoon and just expand to make a circle, any size that you want. You can make a big one, you can make a smaller one. Bigger ones are going to be hard to work with, especially if you're a novice. A small one is a lot easier to work with. And once you add the pancake batter, just going to leave it to just cook on the underside, flip it over, cook the other side, and we're done. You don't want to make the pancakes too thick, because if you make it too thick, you're going to struggle to flip it over. I should also point that out. You just want to make them not too thin but not too thick. They're going to come up fluffy anyway because we use baking powder. So just that process and you are good to go. So this is the other pancake that I showed you guys to make, and I'm going to add it to a batch of pancakes that I've already made. As you can see, it's really simple to make them. You can just add your favorite syrup, or you can just eat them like that because they're already sweet. It's up to you. I like to add a bit of maple syrup on mine, but like I said, you don't have to do that. It's that simple to make these pancakes, and they're delicious, and most importantly, they are gluten-free. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the other side.